Welcome back to our channel, CSIR Podcast. In this episode, we would like to discuss about separatism, especially in Indonesia. We have a senior lecturer with us today, Dr. Adriana Elizabeth. Welcome, Dr. Elizabeth.
Thank you for having me here, Bung Adrian.
Yeah. And Dr. Elizabeth will give us assessment about what the future of separatism in Indonesia.
Thanks again for inviting me to talk to this podcast. And this time I want to focus on separatism as you asked me to talk about. So let me start with my perspective because I have background on international relations. So I want to see separatism from that perspective. So this is a very complicated terms actually. When we think about separatism, we have to know something related to patriotism, nationalism, and also issues regarding minorities. So again, this is a very complex meaning. If we talk about patriotism and nationalism, what are they about? So commonly, people used to misunderstand about what is actually nation, state, ethnic, tribe, nationalism, and patriotism itself. And regarding to these terms, we also have to know about the constituting nationalism. So this is actually part of nation building, but from the separatist perspective. And again, still in this point, when we talk about separatism, we also have to know about national identity, because separatism is actually part of how they're showing their own identity based on primordialism. And also we know this also coming up to the international society structure with some of them actually recognize this specific identity. The other point from the international relations perspective is about the identity with differences. Again, separatism is coming from specific or certain groups of people with trying to get recognition over their own identity. Again, this is back to identity. But if we come to the context of Indonesia, we actually have the slogan of unity in diversity. So actually each of the specific group of people already being recognized by the government, but not the separatism, of course. But again, we also have to always remember that if we talk about separatism, there's a part of identity or assuming to build their own identity, even in a very pluralist context. The third one is about language, action, and politics. So separatism is again because it's related to identity. In their identity, they also have the specific language that they use, and also they come to show what's actually their agenda, their interest in actions, and also they think about how they can build like political systems or power systems. So basically, we have to remember all about these terms when we talk about separatism. And now I want to go to the questions, why is there separatism in the world? In all the regions, almost in all the regions and in many countries, they face the problem dealing with separatist sentiment, separatist movement. So we cannot come directly to the issue of separatism without knowing about the background. So it starts from the secession. So there's many grievances from certain group of people in the country or in the region, and they keep trying to get like things to get attention about what's actually their complaints. And when we cannot deal with the secession, so they come to be the rebellions, or they being the rebels group used to resistance towards the state policy. And this also what they want to tell us that they lack of agreement to the government. And from the secession to rebellion, they come now to separatism. The separatism sentiment or movement is again occurred in, as I said, having in many different countries and in almost all regions in the world. I don't want to make a list of that because it's too many. So I just want to come to the roots of causes regarding separatism. The first cause is about political aspect. Again, we will see in news or even podcasts also, one of the root of the separatism is related to political aspect. Is regarding power systems, their narrative, and also sometimes related to security and border issues. The second root, of course, is about economic aspect. There's the lack of natural resource management, for example, and also there's an economic gap and exploitations. So they used to propose or promoting or even criticizing the formal governments about political aspect and political and economic aspect. The third is the third root, of course, is about social cultural. Again, it's back to the identity, the language. So if we follow the news lately, the Catalonia in Spain, they ask for recognition for their own language in European Union, for example. So this is one of action of the separatist group through their language. So they want to have a recognition from a European Union. And now I come to the types of movement. So there are some type of movement from this separatist group. The first is they used to have political lobby, internationally, regionally, even at the national level to get all the support from different groups. They used to have like international campaign based on what happened actually in the state. The second types of movement is armed rebels. They used to do the guerrilla war. Bung Adrian knows that very well, of course. And the third is non-violent movement. They used to have like peace demonstrations, protests, and also ballot box or election. And Indonesia is approaching to have general elections, but I don't see that the separatist group in Indonesia especially will use this moment to express their political agenda. Now I come to the case related to Indonesia, especially in Papua. Since the separatists in Papua has been there for more than 60 years until now, so I want to give you like a glance what's actually the mapping of actors there in Papua. So based on my analysis or observations, there are three groups of separatists in Papua, or we know as OPM, Organisasi Papua Merdeka, Papua Free Movement organizations. The first is ULMWP, United Liberation Movement for West Papua. So they just had a meeting actually in Bangkok a few days ago. So this shows that they keep going with their agenda. They are not stopped with any state policies towards them. They keep going with their agenda. The second is West Papua National Military Liberations, or we know as TPNPB. So this is the arms wings of OPM. And lately, I think we maybe know from the news that the one of the let's say commander of this armed groups is knowing as Egyanus Kogoya, has been doing so many things related to also violent action, and also lately the capture of the pilot from Susi Air, for example. The third is West Papua National Committee, or this is they called KNPB. This is the only movement they go with non-violent action. So they claim that this movement is doing peacefully. And after we know about the mapping of actors in Papua, so I just want to tell you about the agenda or the propaganda they used to do since, I think, more than 60 years, of course. The first is asking for referendum. They are always complaining about the process of a referendum in 1969. So they asked for a second referendum for that, which is the government already stated that it's impossible to have a second referendum in Papua. The second agenda is asking for self-determinations. Because there's so many differences between Papua and the government, so they asked for this. But I think if we go to the special autonomy law in Papua, so actually this is part of self-determination that the government already gave to them. But again, they asked for self-determination in terms of independence, which is impossible, of course. The third one, the third agenda is human rights courts. So they asked for human rights courts because of the human rights violations in Papua. So basically they use this issue, and especially human rights issues. First, they ask for, or they claim, they're criticizing strongly about the repressiveness from the military in Papua. This is based on a military approach. So they also coming with the issue of slow motion genocide. So this is to say that the government has intention to make the Papuans being abolished in their own land. The second is regarding human rights is about massive of environmental destruction. So this last issue, coming few years ago, they come with the issue of ecocide. So I know this definition is not final because many countries still discuss about these terms. But again, the separatist group in Papua also trying to come up with this new issue about ecocide. And if I have option next time, so I will discuss more about this issue, but not in this case. So now I move to the dynamics in Papua. So after being a researcher for 30 years and focus on Papua for 15 years, maybe more than that, so I see also the dynamics in dealing with separatists in Papua. The first, we know there's a growing solidarity to the Papuan movement nationally, especially coming from the pro-democracy. So they are trying to support what's actually the political agenda of the Papua there. And in dealing with these situations, the government already make like policy and also approach. First is through special autonomy law. So after the implementations for about 20 years, the government already revised the law, and Papua now has the new one. That's the special autonomy law number 2 in 2021. So this is basically focused on development program in Papua. So the government is trying to continue what already happened in Papua, through education, through health program, local economic empowerment, and also the development of infrastructure regarding connectivity and also digitalization. The second is the government has the policy to deal with Papua separatists, especially the armed wings, by having the I call it as labeling to the separatist group. They also actually terrorist group. But again, we can discuss this more, but I don't want to do it now. Okay, the second dynamics in Papua is regarding the regional networks and supports for the OPM or from the OPM, coming from Melanesian Spearhead Group, for example, and also Pacific Island Forum, and also lately it was in 2019. We maybe remember about the case in America regarding the Black Lives Matter, and it's also becoming the tagline of Papua Lives Matter. So Papua is very dynamic, including the separatist group, and because of the dynamics, we also have to know about the impact. What's actually happened now in Papua? First, this is actually my biggest concern. The escalations of violence in Papua increasing since end of 2017. And also Papua now becoming a hard conflict. Why is it hard? Because this is lots of trust deficit. I can call it as lots of toxic relations. So this is what I said, a hard conflict. And also lots of humiliations. Government criticizing the Papuans, vice versa, the Papuans also criticizing the governments. So this is a problem of trust there. And also stigmatizations, never ending there in Papua. And also the other is about lack of economic distribution. This is what I call as economic separatism actually, because based on economic issues. And it seems that we don't have a way to go out from these situations. But if I can share my optimistic about the situations or the separatists in Indonesia, especially in Papua, talking about the chance of success of separatist group, I think there will be more time for them to struggle for getting their final agenda for independence, because this is a very complicated stages that they have to go. And I was in a training, conflict mediation training. I got the experience from the consultant there. They said that it's almost impossible for Papua to be independent because the way to go there is very rocky. So this is what I say, if we talk about chance of success of the separatists in Papua, they have to go very far away because this is a very long process. But instead of thinking about separatism as a threat for us, so I just want to say if we can improve our soft skills, because we used to see this in hard skills. So I want to encourage us to think more seriously how to improve our soft skills. What is it? The first is about communication skills. So trying to have good communications, to listen carefully to what they ask, and the Papuans also have to listen carefully to what the government means. So this is like a two-way traffic communications. The second is about problem-solving capacity. So the list of problems in Papua regarding separatism is a long list already. So we have to think how actually we have to solve that. So problem-solving capacity is a must. And the second, regarding the soft skills approach is decision making and critical thinking. We have to avoid binary false. So, like for example, there's a tagline about NKRI harga mati versus Papua merdeka harga mati. So I think this is we have to forget it, because we have to discuss, we have to communicate this with a good communication skills, as I said. And the fourth one is we have to design specific conflict resolution scheme for Papua. Development approach is okay. Papua needs that. Security approach is okay, but please don't do it repressive. And in order to complete all the approaches, so I propose to have conflict resolutions, especially or specifically for Papua, because Papua is different from Aceh, for example. So from all these points that I shared to you, so I think again in the next 5 years, Indonesia will still have to deal with separatist issue in Papua, because it has been there for years. But also I see that it's hard for them to gain what they want as to be independent state, because there's lots of things to go for, lots steps that have to go, because again it's not enough to only have recognition, but they also have to have capacity to actually think what kind of state they want to build. So this is again a long way to go for that, and for sure, because this is approaching to the election, to the presidential election, so I think Papua will be one of strategic issue that the new president has to take care of. That's all from me. Thank you.